So the reason why we went this week without Trigger, I mean, the thing is already over. Like, we've already set the lineup, so I don't mind sharing that with you guys. It's obviously we've got 4 amazing players at the moment. We do really need a win, but that's not why I didn't use Trigger. It's just that Yona was available, and if Yona is available, of course, we want to give you guys Yona. And this is incredibly early for the NA East Coast. This match would have started at 8 a.m. And Trigger said, I really don't feel like playing too many games at 8 a.m., 8:30 a.m. Like, I just don't play my best. And I think that's very reasonable. So we could use a wild card to let Trigger play a couple days in advance and a more reasonable time. Or we just say, like, all right, Trigger, you sit this one out, and we'll let ShoWTimE play, and then next week you can play again, or the week after that. Because the time slots are often 8 a.m. for Trigger or 10 a.m. But if it's 10 a.m., that's just a little bit better. That's still early, but we can live with that. But if you have to play a competitive match at 8 a.m., you're going to have to wake up at 7, right, to get a couple warm-up games. And we just felt it's too early in the season to use wildcards for that kind of a reason. We're happy that we have Serral who's able to play today. So that's why we went with these 3. But don't worry, we're not benching Trigger or anything. We love Trigger. He's played great. He is great. And you guys will see him plenty of times throughout the season. What is always fun for me as a football fan is that at the end of the season they play all the matches at the same time. I find it really cool to follow. It makes me happy. And we are about to witness 9 games in the Eredivisie play all at once. And that just sparks joy to me. Thank you, Andraj, for the 16 months. Is there anything very important today? Is it the Excelsior game that's important? Take a quick look at that. Yeah, they're battling. So around spot 16 it's important. ShoWTimE is BASILISK for this season. It is BASILISK plus ShoWTimE. Or BASILISK plus Big. But ShoWTimE obviously cannot participate in the WTL quest by himself. And since Jona's not always available at the moment, we don't really want to send out me every single week. Or at least for 5 or 6 or 7 play days. So we decided to team up together with ShoWTimE. This will be his 3rd appearance for BASILISK and ShoWTimE. And unfortunately, it hasn't gone mega hot so far. He had a 1-1 against Cristiano in the opening playday. And he lost 0-2 against Jayshi last playday. When we played against DKZ. And he actually had a really good start in game 1 too. So let's hope that D-Mauer can just do D-Mauer things. Because we know we teamed up with an absolute stud. And that's not because he's got great posture or that he's handsome. He's a great player. And I'm sure that the results will come. Bottom left side, guys. He's on the top side of the scoreboard. Can be a tiny bit confusing, so keep your eyes on that. It is a Cyan, Chinese Protoss. One of the many great Chinese Protoss players. And in the top left side, spawning in the red, representing BASILISK and ShoWTimE. It's ShoWTimE. ShoWTimE has a pretty early scout here. I wonder if he's going to pick up on the fact that something is missing. Cyan has mined out those mineral patches very early here on Amphion. And that means that he could potentially go for the closest Stargate ever. And ShoWTimE goes for a 1-gate fast expensive. This can get a bit dire. This can get a bit hard. Cyan doesn't know what we know. But I'm not sure if ShoWTimE knows what we know. We'll keep an eye on it. Wow. Okay. Wow, that's actually very cool. That's what I was thinking as well, by the way, Legoland. Because I believe that Trigger has that hoodie too. So when we looked, I was like, what? The glasses, the hair, the hoodie. I was like, what? This is actually very cool. So what Cyan is doing here, guys, is that he's going to mine the minerals. And then he's going to click his probe back into the gas. Then you get gas. And like this, you can actually mine out these mineral patches very quickly with just one probe. Gas becomes minerals. Minerals becomes gas. Gas becomes minerals. And that is a way to actually mine out a path into your opponent's natural. This is incredibly smart. And if it wasn't happening against BASILISK, I would be losing my mind right now and be raving. I think ShoWTimE is kind of dead here. This is incredibly smart, big brain gaming. I gotta appreciate it, but it makes me very sad. D-Mauer is just... He's getting pretty unlucky so far in the WTL contest. He is going to see it now. Oh no, go deeper, please. No. Oh, go deeper. Why don't you go deeper, mate? I just don't see a world where you hold this. It's 4 gateways, guys. A good old-fashioned 4 gate. But that 4 gate is going to show up in your freaking natural when you're going 1 gate fast spin with an Oracle. Even max packs would look at this and be like, yeah, sorry, I don't want that smoke. And there is no one on this planet better in defending nonsense. ShoWTimE still doesn't see it. Then the Prince of Denmark. That Oracle. Okay, we are building a Void Ray. Is there a world where ShoWTimE pulls off the most... Okay, hey, no shield battery. No shield battery. Well, if there is a world, this is how that world looks like. Where your first Oracle flies to the other side of the map, forces a couple of defensive weapons. Oracle lives, 4 probes. Alright, Demauer, we need batteries. We need the best micro ever. Man, Cyan can just walk into the main base too, no? Honestly, I kind of feel that Cyan should have just sent the first 2 adepts in, and after that 4 gate. ShoWTimE now knows what's up. Maybe we can create some sort of a very cool Sim City. We don't have a force field. He's gonna work on that pylon, but it's not just the pylon, ShoWTimE. It's a whole bunch of stalkers. We can warp in another unit. We can get a second Void Ray. Like, these stalkers will not have blink. I mean, it's almost impossible, but I want to have a tiny bit of copium. Okay, ShoWTimE guns down a stalker. Adepts are incredibly problematic. But ShoWTimE could technically stabilize on 1 base for a while. Just mine off 1 mineral patches. The Void Ray micro is kind of good. We do need to kill these stalkers though. If we don't kill stalkers, it's all for nothing. 1 shot on one of these low HP stalkers. ShoWTimE gets the double kill and the 3rd stalker is very low. Maybe now we can pull like all the probes. What if we fight with 3 Void Rays in every single probe? Guys, every single probe and 3 Void Rays? What do you say? What do you say? Prismatic alignment, justice reigns from above. We lose 7 workers. I feel like that was a big mistake. We should have pulled the probes from the low ground, no? Imagine if we can trap those stalkers there. I think you wipe the floor with each and every single one of them, but there is a tiny bit of hope. Coco's second overcharge, you should be ready here. Cyan's army is really not going to get any better. We are going to get a 4th Void Ray. What am I looking at? ShoWTimE might actually be winning this. 4 Void Rays against a bunch of stalkers. I think as long as the micro is okay, as long as we stay close to the batteries, we've got a good shot here. Prismatic alignment activated on all of them. 3 Void Rays should turn around and fight, and that is exactly what they do. Oh my. Tobias. Demauer. What? And Cyan is now gonna send it, trying to kill 4 Void Rays. Prismatic was still active for a little bit, but I don't think that is quite it, guys. I really don't think that is quite it for Cyan. He does reduce the Void Ray count a little, but he's still down 5 workers. ShoWTimE is mining across 2 different mineral lines. Okay, we need a fresh Void Ray, and we get the save, we get the kill. We might lose 1 Void here, but we kill so many freaking stalkers in return. I'm starting to be very confident, and I do think Cyan really dropped the ball here. He could have played this out so much better. The strategy was 10 out of 10, but the execution was not there. Demauer for BASILISK, and ShoWTimE takes the 1-0 lead in what felt like was an absolutely impossible setup. This team series looks so one-sided, or lopsided is what you said. Well, Mystery Gaming is 2-0 so far in the season. We are 0-2. But yeah, I will gladly have this be incredibly one-sided and boring. I would be very happy. You know, Reynor, they gave me a higher rating than Trigger and ShoWTimE. By farming the Chinese commentator a couple of times, I officially have more ELO than Trigger and Demauer. I think the Oracle died at one point. I was looking at it, but it never showed up anymore. And we can go back into the game a little and see where it died. I think this is where it dies, in the bottom left side. It's in the bottom left side. Does he ever send it back in? Now he sends it back in. You guys can see it over here. Drops the stasis trappy. It's still alive. Gets back in. Yeah, Oracle actually made it. Oracle made it all the way to the end of the game. It's in the bottom left side, and ShoWTimE did try to drop a few stasis trappies. We never got to see if they were big or not, but... 3-0. We will take that. I love a 3-0. The Basilisk Beast. I'm ready. I'm ready to pull my weight. And I weigh a lot. One of these playdays, guys. I feel like if Yona is available, we can maybe go for a nice mix with like Reynor, Roddy, Yona. Just 3 stars, you know. Just 3 all-time goats. That'd be one hell of a lineup. At least 66% of it. I think Cyan could have played it out in many different ways. And he probably needed a earlier shield battery, obviously. So, if you 4-gate, time is of the essence. And you just need to go for it. Warping in 4 stalkers at home, turning around to deal with an Oracle, that's not really the way that you ever want to execute any 4-gate. But I still don't think that was the biggest problem. I would have liked to see him go for 2 adepts first, you shade those adepts into the main, and then you just run 8 stalkers into the natural. And you just start battling. Yeah, Cyan was a little bit indecisive. Felt like he wasn't totally certain how he wanted to play it. Took his time. And the moment he walked into the main, like the voids were in a really good spot. Out of range of those stalkers. Maybe ShoWTimE could have pulled a couple probies from the natural. And he would have been able to trap all of them at the ramp. That would have been 10 out of 10. But even when he didn't do that, he maintained a pretty high void ray count. Killed stalkers. And take it from there. Will we get Serral cam? Yeah, there's a good chance, I think. Good chance we'll get a Serral cam. One match day, the Proto Superstars, Roddy, ShoWTimE, and Trigger. That'd be a very cool lineup too. If we want to give our Zerg brethren a breaky. I kind of hope that Serral plays in his military outfit. That would be amazing. But I don't know if that's going to happen. We'll see him soon, guys. After the PvP, we get to see Yona. Yona, Jason, Hayes, Sotala. Bottom right side, made a frowny face there, and I can understand that, because the strategy was very cool. The execution was there, didn't get scouted. At that point, you're supposed to win with such a big range threat. He didn't. It is Mystery Gaming's Cyan. They are down 0-3. Against us, baby. Basilisk plus ShoWTimE. You guys can see the tiny big logo there in the top right side. I feel like they could have done a better job with our logo. I don't think it has to be all black background. But okay. Something went wrong somewhere. Maybe we can fix it. It's supposed to just be white, and then that tiny big logo is supposed to be in the top right. It's not supposed to be a black square, but we'll get on it, guys. You don't even see the big logo. It's tiny in the top right. Because 4 out of 5 are Basilisk. 1 out of 5 is big. By the way, is it confirmed that our man Rogue is coming or not coming to Dallas? Because to me it makes a lot of sense that Rogue is coming to Dallas. Because that is his one shot to qualify for the Esports World Cup. He would have to finish top 4, but I think if he's grinding non-stop playing 24/7, he's got a tiny chance. And I feel like this is going to be the best thing ever about Dallas, and it's going to be the most hyped DreamHack we've had in a very long time. That every single player out there, even Queen Coco, could still make it to the biggest Starcraft tournament ever, and that would be the Esports World Cup. And all they have to do is finish top 4 at the ESL Masters in Dallas. Upper 3 Zelda could still make it. My pal Cell could be waving that Canadian flag over in Saudi Arabia later this year. It is a bit surprising that Coco has not punched her ticket yet into the Esports World Cup, but I believe that Dallas is the place to make it happen. We saw what Serral is capable of in Atlanta. Imagine, you take that skill and you bring it to an even bigger stage, a bigger state, Texas? Woo! I mean, Oliveira is shaking in his boots if Upper 3 is bringing out his TVTs. Are you coming as well to Dallas, Heaven? Please tell me that Heaven and Holden are coming so I can take a picture with both of you. That would be amazing. Is Reynor still in Korea? Yes, he is. Reynor is flying to China in a couple days because he is going to be your official caster for Stars War. I'm sure that Reynor is absolutely thrilled about the fact that he can cast an 8-man tournament with 0 Zergs inside of it. To make things even better, we're going to kick things off with a Spirit against Maru TVT. Woo! Reynor is buzzing. Cyan is once more, guys, doing something that's a bit different. As you guys can see, there is Blink on the way and 2 more gateways being warped in the bottom left side here of Golden Aura, or at least 1. So he's ready to just go for a 4-gate Blink Stalker all in. That's very good if your opponent goes for a quick expand. Or at least very good. It has potential. If ShoWTimE is just chilling on 1 base, I don't know how much I love that for Cyan. I kind of feel that Cyan is going to have to take the gold himself. And he is going to take the gold. Yeah, I like that. If it's 1 base against 1 base, I think it's completely okay to take the gold here if you're Cyan. Solo cast? No, Reynor will be casting the entire tournament together with Red Bunny. I believe that the chemistry will be off the charts. Reynor plus Red Bunny. It's going to be awesome. I'll be watching Reynor. I'll be watching. Oh. ShoWTimE has killed 2 probes. That's not a whole lot yet. This is a bit risky, by the way, because going for an expand at this moment, we don't have a battery here. What I would really love from ShoWTimE is a battery on the high ground that can actually heal units on the low ground. And on the left side of that pylon, Stalker count is decent. Immortal is doing its thing. Maybe the Immortal can get 1 final shut off. Seems like that has not happened. What are we going for here? Cyan has not activated the barrier yet, and he doesn't really seem to be too worried about it, Immortal. He just kind of wants to kill everything else. Second Immortal is now out though. I kind of feel that Cyan is playing a little bit of everything. As it's ShoWTimE, his Oracle is going to find this setup in the bottom left side. Activates Pulsar Beam to gun down 1 more worker. Whatever Cyan was hoping for is not happening. And now he's just in a bit of an awkward spot. And he's sitting here, he's like, do I go for it? Yes or no? Do I send it? It's like, I can't really do that, because if he leaves 0 units at home, there is a chance that the Oracle will kill too many probes. So all you can really do is just kind of contain your opponent. But this kind of stuff, sometimes people think if you have the gold, you're always richer. But that's just not the case. Like ShoWTimE, who has 33 workers across 2 blue mineral fields, is actually going to be just as rich, if not richer, than Cyan is, who's got 29 workers and he's got a couple of them at the gold. Basically, the gold can give you similar income to the blue minerals, and you need less workers for it. So 12 workers can mine as efficiently as 16 workers do. But it's not that the 12 workers mine a whole lot more. So this game really is not going anywhere for Cyan. I think he knows that. What he also doesn't have, guys, is a Robo. Does not have an Oracle either. Doesn't have a cannon. That man could just straight up die to a couple of DTs. And if ShoWTimE wins this game, we have officially won our first clan war of the season. Somebody's O had to go. And it was either the 0 losses of Mystery Gaming, or it was the 0 wins of BASILISK. And it seems that our O is going. Okay, Cyan did just warp in a Robo now. Where is that Robo? That was the caster curse, and let's see about that then, mate. That is a shield battery that I do believe is going to be in range of the pylon that's powering the robo. But I still really like this for ShoWTimE. I feel like there is a lot of potential. Their zero is also going. I know. Somebody's O had to go. And it turns out that all the O's are going. There was also a world where nobody's O had to go. Cyan is in serious danger of dying real soon. The 2 Dark Templars have been warped in on the other side of the map or at home. Where did we warp in them DTs? At home? ShoWTimE says, if you're gonna attack me without detection, I'm just gonna warp in a couple of DTs. I guess ShoWTimE wants to make sure he doesn't get A-moved. I mean, there's just no universe where Cyan wins here, because A, there are stasis traps, and B, there are DTs. Oh my god, he blinks into the Immortals, the DTs, battery overcharge. Cyan says, what's a meat grinder? I don't know where my dictionary is, but I don't have it on me. Protoss meat grinder, I don't believe that's the thing. Well, turns out it is a thing. Those are nice force fields, by the way, for Cyan, as he does get 2 out of the 3 Immortals. Actually, those were excellent 10 out of 10 force field. Gonna give him some kudos for that. But I'm afraid for the man from China that he's gonna need a little more than that. Now the Archon count goes up. Stalker count isn't that high anymore. Really wants to get that 1 observer. We'll get that observer. I'd love 1 DT on the other side of the map. That second wave of the fight actually went really good for Cyan. I still believe that ShoWTimE should be fine here. We have a War Prism as well, where we can maybe pick up that Immortal. Probably we're not going to do that. The Archons are derping a little. This is not the prettiest defense of ShoWTimE's life, but we can live with it. We still have an Oracle. We've got a battle economy. We've got Archons and batteries, and we should not die against a couple Zealots, even though it's starting to get a little bit scary now. Come on, War Prism, please. Why is our War Prism inactive? Why does the War Prism refuse to fight? Most of the Zealots are gone. ShoWTimE supply is dropping a little. We are going to use battery overcharge after all. That Archon was very close to dying. Now the battery has died. Hey. D-Mauer making life a little bit hard on himself. I do believe with a Pro Pull we're going to be fine, but now we're going to lose a lot of probes. Jeez Louise. 1 Immortal is about to come out. We're going to warp in another DT defensively. No, this is an offensive DT. Finally, War Prism, please. Why is the Prism not doing anything? The Archon dying is actually very problematic, because the Archon in the back of the Stalker army would have been very useful. There is a shield battery in the high. Oh no! The forward blink by Cyan right when ShoWTimE picked up his Immortal. This was the biggest trade-up Prism I've ever seen in my life. That 1 DT is in the main base right now, though, on the other side of the map. The War Prism let 3 Archons and an Immortal die for nothing, and then when it finally picked up the Immortal, even though the Immortal was being healed up by a battery, it ended up dying. I think killing all those probes though with our DT, and now some of these blinks onto the high ground, battery on the low ground, Coco's 7th overcharge of the game. I still think we're good enough. This is probably not the defense that ShoWTimE is going to be incredibly proud of. He's not going to show it to you guys on his stream. He's not going to show it to the family. But we will take it. A 14 worker lead. Gold is going to be mined out as well in the near future. We still have DTs. We've got a Robo. And the okay, that's nice. There is no observer in the bottom left side. I was thinking about the ping a little, guys. But normally the way that it works is that game 1 is played on US West. And that's where you have higher ping. And then game 2 would be on Central. No, it's actually West both games, right? Against China. Yeah, never mind. But I mean, we're playing on the same server as we did in game 1. And on game 1, I actually thought that ShoWTimE did a 10 out of 10 job with his Void Race. Which I would say is harder than picking up an Immortal, picking up an Archon. But hey, who cares? Who cares, guys? If you're 0-2, we're not going to be picky. We ain't striving for perfection over here. Not today. Today, we're just striving for a W. Yeah, I know, Reynor. I just said that. It's West every game. I know. But I still think that in game 1 his micro was very good. Is it best of 3 or best of 5? The entire clan war is a best of 7, but the best of 7 is over. 4-0. We're back, baby. We are back. ShoWTimE laughing a little as he gets his first ever 2-0 in WTL Codes. We knew, D-Mauer. We knew. Never lost any faith, mate. 4-0, but we still get some Yona. Thank you to Tobias for the 49 months. Indeed, perfect timing. Did. ShoWTimE 2-0 is the correct outcome. Coffee versus Serral. Woo! Coffee 2-0. Good luck with that. Serral 2-0. Yeah, I like it. 1-1 draw. For the first time in a while, we get to see the great Iona Sotala. As you guys can see, I really have to run some ads, so I'm going to do that now. Otherwise, they happen in the middle of the Serral game, and you guys get angry. So 3 minutes. Be right back. Serral against Coffee coming up.